Hello, my sweet crafty friends. Monique with Grace and Tattered Lace. Let's make a cute garden sign that can be used for spring or fall. You can make it reversible and it can be used in either one or both. The first thing that we're going to do is use some coffee stained drop cloth. The drop cloth came from Home Depot, you guys. You want to make sure that you get an 8-ounce drop cloth, medium weight. That's the best one to get. That's going to help you be able to tear it properly. You don't want any backing on it, just drop cloth, painter's drop cloth, guys. Baked it in the oven after I soaked it in an instant coffee mixture. Then I went ahead and taped this off with some painter's tape on both sides, and we're using some Waverly paint in the color of maize to paint our stripes. Now I did paint both sides. All right, now we have the little pennant that I cut out. Now we're going to use some Apple Barrel Black acrylic paint. Now the one thing I forgot to do when I did this, and I went ahead and did it when I was completely done, was I forgot to take my little gator tool to the edges of those little pennant flags. I like to rough it up a little bit and kind of make it match the edges of the garden flag. So make sure you go ahead and do that, guys. You only need to do one side. Just do a nice, good, quick stroke. Now you can make it as thick or as thin as you want, you guys. I chose for the pennants to be a little less full of paint. Little kind of see-through where you can still see the fabric peeking through a little bit. All right, when it's done there, you guys want to make sure that you zap that with a dryer or a heat tool. Pop it in the oven for a few minutes to get it nice and dry before you go to this next step. Now I'm using one of the stencils from the sunflower collection, you guys. It is so darn cute, the whole collection. There is, I believe, 4 or 5 different stencils that come with this one, all together in one sheet. So we're just putting some chalk paste on, using the single sunflower on each of the little pennants. Now it's very important to know that you need to use chalk paste, not chalk paint or acrylic ink, because it will not work. It will smudge and smear and you will have a hot mess. All right, make sure you hit these with a dryer when you're done with those so that you don't smear them. Now we're going to go ahead and get our flag back out, and we're going to use another portion of that stencil right here on the front. Make sure you get that down nice and good, guys. And had I thought about this at the time, I probably would have taken this out and hit it with my iron just so that there was no wrinkles in it to prevent any smudges. All right, smile like a sunflower. Isn't that so sweet? I just love it. Now you saw I hit that with the dryer to make sure that it was dry and I didn't turn it over and smudge. Here's yet another part of that stencil. This one just says gather, and it has a few sunflowers underneath of it. Now there's one piece that I didn't show you, and I believe it says home, and it has a little sunflower in the middle for the O. All of these all come together as one stencil, friends. Again, I'm using black chalk paint. No, sorry, black chalk paste, not paint, friends. All right. Now, I would have really loved to use like a stick from my garden outside, but I made this when it was dark and I wasn't going to walk out to the kind of the woodsy area in my backyard in the dark. So I just used this little stick that I have. It looks like it was a handle from some object or something I picked up somewhere. A little vintage shop, thrift shop or something. You guys can use like a wooden dowel. If you don't have access to any sticks or anything like that, just a little wooden dowel. You can find those at Hobby Lobby, Home Depot, even Dollar Tree. You can just put a little bit of paint on it and just dress it a little bit and make your own little stick like mine. All right, now we're just going to attach the little pennants there to the top. Look how cute that is, you guys. I just love it. Okay, now I have these little tiny pieces of that drop cloth that I've pre-cut and tore We're going to stamp the word welcome onto this. Now remember, this is double-sided, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp 2. One for the front and one for the reverse side. All right, once it's nice and done, you want to make sure that they're dry before you start picking those up and get ink everywhere. Then you're just going to use a little hot glue, attach your letters, make sure it fits before you get it on there, guys. That's why I lined mine up like that. All right, we'll take those off. We'll do the other side. Isn't that just stinking cute? Oh, before I did the other side, I went ahead and took some dark wax. Any dark wax will do, friends. You don't have to have this exact one. I like the one that's over at Home Depot by Bear Paints. Now I'm just using an old paintbrush and I'm going right down the stripes just to kind of give it some more definition and make those stripes pop out more. Just putting a little on, then rubbing it with my finger a little bit. Smudge just a tiny bit inside those little flowers. Now we'll flip it over. We'll do the same thing to the other side. I just thought this was so cute, and it would look so cute on a front door, hanging on one of those like little shepherd hooks in the garden, out your front door, anywhere that you might hang something. I like to have mine right on my front porch. And I live in Georgia. I made one for July. It was patriotic, and it's still hanging outside, friends, and it's been there. The hot glue has held up just fine. No melting, hasn't come apart or anything like that. So anyway, I went ahead and added a little bit more wax there at the bottom, and I just love how this turned out, you guys. Look at that's one side there, and there's the other side. All right, friends, just so darn cute. Let me know what you thought of the comments. And if you love it as much as I do, give it a little sprinkle, friends. Thank you so much for watching. Love ya.